Okay. So this is kind of a story that is personal to me that I want to tell everybody because I think it really gives a perspective into my mind and into how I was before now, before I'm attempting this, before I'm trying to help people understand and see kind of how people are stuck in their own heads. So here's a story that's deeply personal, and yeah. So when I was in college, I had a I had just gone to college. I was 19, I think, um, in residence in Kingston for the first time. Was really just getting out. Was really a fresh kid, right? Like we all do. I actually waited a year to go to college just so I could drink, right? Like I wanted to be the party guy because I liked alcohol and I wanted to change who I was as a kid because I was not, I was very reserved and who I was. And I really wanted to be more outgoing and speak to people and give them the authentic me. And the best way I could have done that was with liquid courage, alcohol. Um, so yeah, I went to college to become a programmer and party hard, like a lot of kids do when they go to school. So, anyways, I met this guy. He was older than me in residence, and he really took me under his wing. Like he was a very good friend through a lot of shit. I got my heart hurt while I was there. I made a lot of friends that weren't really my friends, but I didn't know that at the time. Like I really thought I was doing well. And this guy took me under his wing, and he was a good guy. Took me to one of my first concerts, took me to see the Trues. He really wanted to help, and he was really a good friend. Um, and we were good friends for a long time. We had a friend group of a few of us, and we partied and had fun and just enjoyed our life in college. Really becoming good friend group. Um, and a few years went on, and I was suffering with mental health and problems that I just didn't understand at the time. And it's okay because I was a dumb kid. I thought I knew everything, but I really didn't, and I was holding everything into myself. I was really keeping a lot in, and not seeking help, not really trying to connect with anybody, really trying to withdraw into myself, Um, and at that time, my friend had a very good friend of his that discovered uh, he had a brain tumor. And this was my friend. So let me just put more into this situation. I was back home at my parents' place for a weekend, and I had promised my friend to get some juice for his friend. This was pre me knowing that he had brain cancer or that he had a brain tumor. Um, but I was at home for the weekend and just enjoying myself. And then I got a message just before I went back to school um, from my one friend that said he was having a hard time. His friend just found out that he had a brain tumor, and that I don't even remember the conversation, but he really just needed me to be there for him. Really did. So I was coming back to school, and this orange juice thing or the peach juice thing that I was trying to get, my friend didn't know about, but I stopped by Baker's Dozen out of Bowmanville, I think. Yeah, so his friend's his friend loved this Baker's Dozen's peach juice. And Baker's Dozen doesn't has collapsed or has become individual services or whatever. I don't really know the situation, but at the time there was only one that I knew of, and it was around the corner from my parents' place. So I called up the Baker's Dozen after I got that phone call, and I told them, "Hey, I'll be there in a little bit. I'd like to buy as much as the peach juice as I can. I'll bring whatever containers I can." And yeah, so I drove over there and showed up with a Nob Hill Farm box. I don't know if any of you remember that, but like it was a big box that used to be in Ontario or in Oshawa that it was a grocery store that closed down, but they had these boxes and you could carry like shit tons of things in. It was like Walmart boxes, but pre-Walmart. So anyways, I showed up with all these containers to fill up this peach juice, and the Baker's Dozen didn't even know I was coming, or the person working didn't know I was coming. But that worker, I got to give it to them. They got me as much orange or peach juice as I could get. It was really, really impressive because like I had a giant thing and I put it in my car. I was so happy. Got up to school, back to school, and back to my apartment. Brought the peach juice to my friend. Felt really, really proud because like I thought this was just something to give something to give somebody a little bit of hope or a little bit of light before having to deal with that. It's nobody should have to deal with that. So anyways, I think a few days go by and I'm really not doing well. My mental state had collapsed. I just wanted to be left alone. I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to go anywhere. It was hard for me. And my friends knew instinctively that I was not in a good place. And they decided to stage some sort of intervention. They didn't know this. I didn't know this, but I really don't do well when pushed and pressured into things. I retreat more. I'm scared. I feel like I'm gonna lash out. Like I'm a scared animal. Like that's what we are. Humans are scared animals. I wanted to lash out. And they came to my door while I was in this state and tried to help, tried to show their love. Like forced their way into my apartment at the time. And I got on the ledge of my balcony and I was so scared because like I just wanted away from them. They were in my space, my apartment, my personal space, and my safe space. And I was scared. Like I just wanted to be left alone. And I know now, I didn't know then, but they were coming from a place of love. And they just wanted to help. I hurt them a lot too, my other friends. But this other one friend, and more importantly, he said something to me while I was trying to get them out, to get them away, like, and while I was not in a good state, and I know it was lashed out, and I know he didn't mean anything from it, but it really stuck with me, and it's been a shame of mine for the past 15 years, 20 years. It's really hurt me to try and grow. So this is why I'm talking about it right now. But he said to me that the juice I got for his friend wasn't even the real juice. He thought I was being sneaky, I was trying to pull something over on him, and that I got this juice from somewhere else for his friend, that I wasn't well intentioned, that I wasn't there for him in his time of need, and I've held great shame for that for a long time, and I hurt this friend. Like, I felt like I hurt this friend deep in my core, like really down deep. And those words have stuck with me up until this point. Well, they're still going to stick with me, but and I'd love for this friend, if he ever sees this or ever wants to reach out to have a conversation, because I know those weren't the words he wanted to use. I hope, but if they were, I understand. And just, I want you to know that I didn't mean any harm. I just wasn't capable of communicating and understanding your side. And I'm sorry. Sorry. With that, I just wanted to say, like, that was kind of my perspective. Like, those friendships are severed. I don't expect those relationships to be mended. I hurt those relationships back then. But they've been holding me down based on my own perspective. I don't know what anybody's intentions were. Really, like, I do now in retrospective, like, I understand, because I can now see what they were trying to do, because I can understand that I wasn't communicating well. I didn't understand myself well enough to be able to communicate to them my intentions, my feelings, my love, my hurt, my fears. So I just want to follow this up with like a ending to this whole thing. So the reason I'm saying this to you, the reason I'm giving you, or I'm telling the world this story, is because this is kind of a perspective into my mind, my, like, how I've been functioning for the past, like, decade, 2 decades, maybe more, and how I think a lot of people are feeling right now. Like, they're feeling like their intentions don't get across. They're feeling misunderstood, and it's because I think we don't understand how to communicate with people, how to talk to people without being judged. And I'm just saying, I want to show you where I judged myself too harshly, and I want to showcase to the world that you can break out of it. It's not something that hurts. Well, it's gonna hurt. Fuck, did it hurt? When I looked back on my life, did that fucking hurt? But it's given me hope. It's given me courage. It's given me new insight, a new light at the edge of the tunnel. And I want to showcase to you guys that it's possible. It truly is. And I'm not the only one saying this. I'm just joining the voices that have been there for a while, telling everybody the same thing. But I finally figured it out. And my podcast, my future goals, this thing I'm building with you guys, this is me showcasing how to do that for you. This is my understanding to try and teach you some understanding from all sides. So please feel free to join me on this journey. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you on my adventures.